going to be sharing with you in this video how to align your actions with your intentions. Because the truth is that I do believe knowing how to align your actions with your intentions is probably one of the most powerful concepts, if not the most powerful concept you're going to learn in your life. Because everything that you do in your life is basically consisting of you just aligning your actions with your intentions, or not. But if you're not, that's not an existence that I personally really enjoy, is moving through life not consciously living my intentions into existence. Because if I'm unconsciously living my intentions into existence, what's happening is that I kind of just feels like I'm just like floating, for lack of a better term, or just like, imagine like you're just like this flying bag in the wind, and you're just floating around, and there's no real direct path to this just flying bag in the wind. It just kind of is what it is, and it's just going where it's going, but there's no path. So I really do believe that it's one of the most crucial things to learn if we want to really step into the identity and that person that we actually want to be. So the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to actually align your actions with your intentions is to, number one, simply to just know your intentions. First of all, is going to be one of the most important things that you want to do to step into that world that you actually want to see happen. Because a lot of people, they move through life and they don't even know what their intentions are. Like, they just don't know. They don't have any idea of even where they're going. See, I think that, yes, of course, the place that you're coming from is one of the most important things to be able to align those actions with those intentions. But if you don't even know what your intentions are, the place that you're coming from may be coming from like this powerful, you might have a powerful essence, you might have a powerful energy behind what you're doing, but the what is just not clear enough. So I would invite and encourage that individual, even if this individual is myself, to just pull back and remind yourself what your intentions are. What do you really care about the most in your life? What is truly valuable and important to you? What do you actually care about? Because if we move through life and we don't know what we care about, the problem is that our actions are still aligned with what we care about, except that what we care about was not crafted consciously. Because you still care about something, even if you're not going to take some time to think about what you care about and to decide consciously what you care about, you're still going to quote unquote care about certain things. But what you care about is basically where a majority of your attention and a majority of your energy goes into. So whatever actions you take the most, whatever you focus on the most in your life, that's what you care about. And whether you're doing that on purpose, or whether you're doing that on accident or non-deliberately, that's still what's going to be playing out in your life. That's just what's going to happen. So I think that the most important thing to move through life that we can do to help our life move forward and to be the person that we actually want to be is to just start off with just knowing your intentions. What do you actually want? Get a little bit clear on what do you actually care about? What is truly actually important to you? Like, what do you really want? What is it in your life that if you didn't have, you just wouldn't be okay with that? You cannot move forward. You can't continue in your life. You can't be happy. Like, if you don't get this thing, you're not going to be at peace. If you don't take action on this thing by your deathbed, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be fully connected to the essence and the spirit of what it is that you wanted to create. If you don't consciously know your intentions and you don't act those out and you don't do what you really care about, there's going to be a consequence to this. There's going to be a consequence to living in this way. Now, of course, there's consequences to crafting your intentions and to boldly take action towards your intentions. But which pain and which consequence do you prefer in your life? Because there's going to be consequences to anything you choose in your life. For me, I prefer the consequences of boldly and relentlessly and fearlessly just taking action towards what it is that I actually care about. And to own my values and to own what it is that I want to do in my life. And so the second thing that I want to share with you in this video is something really powerful, because once you know your intention, I think it's very powerful to be okay in the unknown, to just not know. Because I think that some of the most powerful teachers and some of the most powerful mentors, if they're really, really honest with themselves and they're really honest with what it is that they want to create in their life, what you'll start to notice is that the people that really do know the most can simply admit that they do not know, that they don't know. They don't know everything, right? We don't know everything. I'm definitely willing to admit that I don't know everything. And when I see somebody that is willing to admit the same, I highly respect them. I highly respect somebody that says, you know what, I don't know the answer, let's find it together. Let's go find somebody that does. Or then they're resourceful enough to go find the answer, or then ask me to, let's go find the answer together. Let's figure it out together. Maybe they don't know what the answer is, but we can figure it out together. We can go on the path together and create what it is that we want. So I would invite and encourage you just to be okay with not knowing. What if some days you just aren't going to know? You just don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but you know the intention. You may not know certain things, but you just have to know what you want. That's the most critical thing that I think a lot of people don't remember and don't keep in mind as they're living their life, or just keep aware of. You don't need to know how you're going to create what you want. You don't need to remember necessarily the exact step-by-step process to create what you want. You just need to know what you want specifically. Get clear on it. Write it down. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it in your notes. Write it down on the computer. Get clear on it. Visualize it. And then, as you know what you want, be okay with the unknown simultaneously at the same time. Yes, that might sound contradictory, but life in of itself is paradoxical in nature sometimes. Sometimes you might have two things that are true, yet they're both simultaneously true at the same time. They can both be true at the same time. So I think life is simply a balance of knowing what you want specifically. Make it clear. Be deliberate. Don't be half focused. Don't be half clear. Be 100% clear. Be 100% clear. What do you care about in your life? Do you know what you care about? Be 100% clear on that. When you become clear on that, be okay in the unknown while you do that. This is how you align your actions with your intentions, is that you know your intentions, but then you surrender yourself to the how. The how naturally comes to you while you're showering, while you're going for a walk, while you're eating. You get an intuitive nudge to go eat something that excites you, that you really want to eat. You go eat it. While you're eating, while you're showering, while you're relaxing, or while you're sleeping or napping, that idea to create the intention, the most effortless and aligned action, the path of least resistance to create that intention. Not that there's not going to be obstacles, not that there's not going to be challenges, but how do you deal with those challenges? You know your intention. How do you solve the problems? You just keep your eye on the intention. You're going to figure it out. You're going to know. When you keep your intention in your mind, you're going to know how to solve the problems that come up. You're going to know how to figure out all the challenges. You're going to figure it out. You're going to know. It's not going to be a problem for you because you're clear on the intention. When you're clear on the intention, the problems stop becoming obstacles to create what you want. They become just another thing that pops up that's potentially stopping you from getting what you want, but you see it as just another challenge, and you see it as an opportunity to become stronger. You see it as a lesson. You don't see it as a problem. You see it as a lesson to become better, a lesson to become more skilled, more refined in your skill sets, to become more clear on what you want, even better, to become more aligned with what you want. Be okay with the unknown. Pair that with knowing your intention very, very clearly. You're going to become a deadly weapon in the world. It's not really a weapon, but you're going to become deadly in the sense that you're going to be able to create what you want. You're not going to need to talk about it too much because you just know that you're able to create it. You're able to have confidence in yourself to create what you want. Even if you don't know how, you know that it's going to get done. It's that non-situational confidence deep within your heart where you know that anything that you want can happen and is going to happen if you put enough thought, energy, or intention, clear focus, putting your attention onto it. Your intention and your attention, both of those things. And so the final thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to align your actions with your intentions is to remember that there's a powerful concept that I've personally been applying in my life that I think is very, very powerful. And it's to remember that sometimes consistency over intensity can be very, very powerful. Sometimes even more powerful than just simply intensity. If you just have intensity but no consistency, and you value intensity over consistency, you might be working harder and having more resistance in your life than necessary. You don't need to have so much resistance. You don't need to be putting in all this work. I believe that there's a time and place to work hard, to take action, even when you don't feel like it. Even if you don't want to take action, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't want to do the thing that you want to do, you need to remember that sometimes taking action is going to help you to then feel better afterwards, then so that it's going to be easier for you to get the result. But if you're so attached to this idea that it has to be difficult, that's what's going to stop you from creating what you want. But at the same time though, intensity is only going to take you so far. You're going to have to drop that paradigm and remember that consistency over intensity can be powerful. I'm not saying to not take action on something every single day. Taking action on something every single day is absolutely going to be powerful to create what it is that you want. That's what's going to help you to be the person that you actually want to be, is to take consistent action every single day. But sometimes it's not about every single day or once per day or a specific amount of time. It's just consistency. For me, I think it should be done every single day, but it can be once a week for you, every 2 weeks. Consistency over being intense. Don't just be so intense that you're not honoring the internal energy system in your body and what your needs are and what you actually like, because your body and your energy system is very, very intelligent. I think that our energy system and our intuition is extremely intelligent, but then we don't trust it, and we don't trust the bigger picture path of trusting what we need to do moment to moment, then to create that bigger picture and to be consistent in the bigger picture rather than being so intense in the short term and then you don't take action for a long time. Consistency every single day. Don't take action in a very, very intense way and then stop taking action for a very long time. Take consistent action bit by bit every single day for a long period of time. That can be much more powerful. Of course, sometimes intensity can be powerful even between all those things, but you don't want to be just intense. Don't just work hard. Be smart as well. It's not just working smart or just working hard or just working hard and just working smart. It's both of them simultaneously finding a balance to create the vision that you want to see happen in your life and not attaching to the result, but having the result clear. Not attaching to the results, but knowing the result is 100% crucial to creating and having that result come into your life. So if you remember, you can be consistent every single day, just a little bit, 0.1% improvements every single day. You don't need to improve 20% in a week or even in a year. 0.1% every single day is just fine. It's absolutely okay. Just work on it consistently every single day for that long period of time, or at least once every few days or every week. Whatever action you need to take, however often you need to take it, is up to you, but be consistent. Be consistent. If you fall off and make a mistake and things happen where you can't be consistent, then of course be gentle with yourself and take a rest day. But then when you're done resting, get back into it and be consistent every single day. Get back into that mentality of 0 days off. Every single day is a vacation because you love what you do. Every single day you're building the dream of what you want to be, and be that right now. If you get too overwhelmed by that, take a break. But then every single day, get back into it. Be the person that you want to be. Take action every single day. Don't be overwhelmed by your vision. Don't be intimidated by your own vision. If you are intimidated, then of course take a rest day. But don't be intimidated that you can absolutely create what you want if you put enough thought energy into it. That's the truth. If you put enough thought energy into something, you're going to create it. It's going to happen in your life. If that's too intimidating for you, then again, take a rest day. But then when you're willing to accept the truth that you can create what you want, if you know the intention and you surrender yourself to you don't need to be attached to the intention. The intention is never guaranteed, by the way. I just want to make that clear. I'm not saying that if you follow the principles in this video, that what you want is going to be guaranteed. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you know your intentions, And then if you pair that with being okay with it not happening, and then surrendering yourself to that intention, just knowing it completely, but then surrendering what you need to do moment to moment, letting it go completely in the sense that you don't know what actions you need to take, but you trust you're going to know what to do moment to moment. If you do this, this is going to help you finally to then be that person that you want to be. And only when you do this, then you're going to be able to finally step into that version of yourself that you actually want to be. But if you're so hung up on just the intention or just the surrendering, you don't find that balance, it's not going to be easy for you to create what you want. So I might encourage every single person to take this concept seriously. If you take this concept seriously, your life is going to be better. It's not guaranteed, but I very much will say that there's a high, if you want the highest probability chance, the highest probable chance to make that intention happen, this is the video that's going to help you to do that. I'm not promising, I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to get a result from this video, but if you want the highest probability to get what you want, I would say know your intention and pair that with not knowing and being okay in the unknown. And then you can also remember that you can be consistent over being just intense, consistency over intensity at certain times in your life. That's going to give you the highest probable chance to be able to get what you want in your life and actually see what you want happen in your life. Not guaranteed, but to create that space and the highest possibility for that potential to happen in your life.